Okay. All right, let me do our intro and then we're rolling. All right, so we are very fortunate. We are able to chat with Flat Earth Dave, along with the gentleman identifies as the Angel of Light. That's his TikTok. He has a TikTok presence as well. He's been sharing with us all in Australia, and it's like 12 hours later in Australia. So that's quite a commitment on his part. So we very much appreciate that. He's Flat Earth Dave is going to talk for a few minutes, and then after that, turn it over to questions. So make sure you write down your questions and get ready to participate. Okay. All right. I do want to thank you, Angels of Light, for hanging in there late at night in Australia. We appreciate that very much. So let me just spin us around here so that all right. So everybody say hi.
Hello.
At this point, I'll just turn it over to both of you.
All right, I'm going to do a quick intro, just showing you that what you think you know about flat Earth is probably incorrect. Everything you know about space is also incorrect, or the globe, and show how you've been indoctrinated into believing something and why it matters. Well, hopefully we'll get to that. But we really want your proofs that we can show you proof after proof after proof the Earth is flat. But if the Earth is a globe, it's 2025. Somebody should be able to prove it. So far, Angel and I have not found anybody. We've debated pilots, PhDs, teachers, and all sorts of people. And it appears that high school students believe that they're the smartest of them all. So maybe this class will be able to prove us wrong. Excuse me. Class number 3. Hopefully I make it to 4. This is the sun from 127,000 feet, 120 or 127,000. I'm not sure. And it's not 93 million miles away. It's right there. What is it? We can discuss that all day. It's a local light because it's lighting this hotspot up here and not lighting up over here. If it was 93 million miles away, it would light up the whole Earth evenly. And people say, well, how can we be a disk floating in space? Well, this is a double false dichotomy. We're not a disk, and space is not real. Excuse me. You'll see memes like this, are we the only flat planet? This is all just to confuse you and make you think flat Earth is stupid and make you feel stupid if you think the Earth is flat. Well, you're not stupid. It's stupid, right? The globe is so stupid that people can't even fathom it. They're like, well, no, I don't understand. The reason I don't understand is because it's stupid. It's really stupid. Here is a flat surface with a light, and when I bend it, I get a point. I get a point of light, right? Well, here's a school floor, and the lights are flat, and they're smooth, and here's the water, and it's flat. It's showing you the same thing. If the Earth was curved, this would be a point of light, not a straight line. So what is the flat Earth? The flat Earth is, the way I look at it, is a giant pond, and large bodies of water need containment. Bring me 5 gallons of water without a container. Anybody? Can you do it? No? So water needs to be contained. Antarctica, choking to death. Excuse me. Antarctica is the highest land on Earth. It's twice the height of the next highest continent, right? So Antarctica is the shoreline of our world. So what did they do? They took that map that was in all encyclopedias, libraries in the 1950s. They took it out and they wrapped it around a globe. And they said, you're not allowed to explore this white area, right? That's weird, right? You're not allowed to explore there because if you did, you might find out you're not on a ball, right? All images of Antarctica from Google Earth or wherever space, Google it, Antarctica in space. They're all cartoons. There's no high resolution photographs of Antarctica. Now, yeah, there is bases all around the edge of Antarctica, but that's just the edge of the world pond on the flat Earth. In your paradigm, you're spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. You've never gone 1,000 miles an hour. You're spinning at the equator at 1,000 miles an hour. You're orbiting at 66,600 miles an hour. Funny number. And you're chasing the sun at about 500,000 miles per hour. That entire system's moving sideways at millions of miles per hour. But for some reason, none of the stars ever change. They're always the same. Go out tonight, take a picture of the stars. Next year, in 10 years, same night, same time, take the same picture. Every star will be in the exact same place. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Just to show you those speeds, this is NASA's hypersonic rocket sled. Watch it. Ready? Can't even see it. Now, if I had the sound on, the sound is shocking, right? You can't fathom what twice that speed is, let alone that speed alone. But you have to believe that we live on a lumpy rock surrounded by curved, smooth water that's never been measured for any convexity, surrounded by high pressure air, adjacent to a void of no pressure with no container, which is impossible. And we're going 10 times faster than that around the sun and chasing the sun at 100 times faster than that, right? That's nonsense. But when you go out into nature, you see stuff like this, right? You go out in nature. What does this tell you? This tells you we're not moving. We live on a level, horizontal, topographical, non-rotating plane. This is flat water. We're not moving. If I stomp my foot on the ground, you see a ripple go right across there. No problem, right? Common sense and nonsense. And one more thing, and we'll go. People talk about the ice wall. Here's the ice wall. This is the shoreline of our world. This is Antarctica. It's cold because the sun never goes out that far. So it's cold here in Antarctica. What's out here in the outer space? We can speculate all we want. We're not allowed to free and independently explore the outer space. What if there was more land in the outer space? That would be extra territory. And somebody lived on that extra territory. What might you consider them? An extraterrestrial from outer space? This is the map that's used for navigation. This is where we live. Angel's over here. We're over here. We're over here. And Angel, point up and I'll let you go. We're both pointing up. Point up. Up. We're not pointing up. We're not pointing opposite each other. Up is up for everybody. And Angel, throw it in there, and then we'll go to your globe proofs.
Yeah, so basically the globe violates a lot of natural laws. The second law of thermodynamics, the first law of thermodynamics, all the gas laws, Newton's third law. I can go on and on, but basically how many laws does something need to violate before it's fake, right? And also our position is that, yeah, we're on a level topographical plane. We're enclosed. That's how we're breathing air because gas pressure requires a container. And you can't fall off the Earth because it's enclosed. We're an enclosed system. You can't fall off the edge of a lake. You can't fall off the Earth. But like Dave said, we're not allowed to independently explore past the 60th South parallel to see what it's out there. And we're also not allowed to explore the North, which is funny because the two spots that would prove it's a globe or flat, we're not allowed to go to. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, at
Oh,
this
yeah,
point,
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Okay. Well, we can go to questions there. I know you had made an offer in the first class if somebody could convince you. I don't know if that offer is still valid.
Sure, the offer is valid. One globe proof, and you win 3 Bitcoins. Now I got your attention. All right, one globe proof, 3 Bitcoins. So
okay,
let's have your globe proofs, or if you don't have a globe proof and you want to ask a question about flat Earth, you can, but ask yourself, why don't you have a globe proof? Right? I've got a ball right here, and I've got proof this is a ball. Right? I got proof this is physical. I got proof that's curvature because I'm hiding behind it. Well, okay. And I can measure the curvature and I could bounce it off your head, show you that it's physical. Why don't we have any proof of the globe? So that's what I'm looking for today.
Okay. We're going to start. Maddie, you have a question?
Yeah, speak really loud. We can't hear you unless you speak really loud.
Sorry. I was just wondering what you guys think about people that work at NASA. Like, are they all just lying, or is it part of a scheme?
No, so basically NASA's really compartmentalized. They're not lying. They're working for NASA, just like people have people working for them, just whatever the job is, right? But they're not lying. They just got taught the Earth was a globe, just like you guys did, just like I did. So they just believe in the globe while working somewhere.
So if I show you that someone's lying to you, how many times do I have to show you that? And why would they lie if they could show you the truth? This was during a live stream. This astronaut just faded in. He just faded in into nowhere. So what does that tell you? That tells you that they're working with green screens and layers. So this astronaut wasn't there, and all of a sudden he was there. So what's going on with this background? Why aren't those windows ever open? This guy faded out during a live stream. So now, are these screw ups, or are they literally just trying to see how dumb we are, how many things that we will believe? All right, so that's one. That's interesting. This was during a ISS live feed. All of a sudden, there was this seam across the Earth. What does that tell you? What does that seam? That tells you that what they're showing us is stitched together. It's not real. It's real footage from a high flying airplane or balloon, but it's not from the space station, right? This one here it is. This was during the live stream. Look at this theme, right? So whenever they show you stuff like this is telling you something right there. Here is where is it? This guy is they're greeting new people, and I don't know, it's a little hard to see. You see the wire being pulled on his shirt. These guys are in harnesses. They're hanging from harnesses. That one might be a little hard to say. Let me find another one. Where is it? Yeah, here's one. This is when Kamala Harris was talking to the space station, and they're always playing with something. So this astronaut is going to be playing with this wire, and if you watch carefully, watch on his hand, the wire goes right through his wrist. See that? Right through his wrist. The wire is not real. It's called augmented reality. They're just playing with things. It goes right through his hand. Let me show you another one. This was he's holding something and he dropped it and it fell. Why didn't it float? And he's like, oh boy. He looked around. He held it and it fell. He had to catch it. Weird. Okay, maybe that's a little weird. These guys they were excited. They got some new fruit. Well, how's the fruit just sitting on the table? All right, let's say they just balanced it there, right? But you got to remember, the ISS is free falling around the Earth, supposedly, right? Free falling around the Earth. There's so many problems with that. But they're playing with the lemon, which is a virtual reality object, and it floated away, and they went to grab it. Look at the hand. What are we seeing there? I'll fast forward a little bit. Watch one more time. I'll do it nice and slow. That is a virtual reality object. They're playing with. So why would they need to lie about being in space? They also talked about they miss coffee, drinking out of a cup rather than a bag. So Don Pettit, the whole story about him, he created a cup. He said, well, I could put it in here, and he's showing how he could drink it out of this plastic cup. But look at the coffee color separated from the cup while it was floating. Right? I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see that better. Hold on. Look, it's separated from the cup all of a sudden. So again, it shows you that they're using layering, and tricks. Then another one, this astronaut loves singing. He's playing his guitar. This guy's holding the microphone. They're not even in the same room, but he sticks his microphone directly into his neck. So the microphone is inside of his neck because it's not real. They're not in the same room. It's all just a big skit. But I would say that 95% of the people at NASA don't know any of this, right? We were interviewing the people for the Apollo mission that worked in the control room. The guy's like 95 years old now. And he said they did so many simulations that when the real thing happened, they couldn't tell the difference between the real thing and the simulation because it was exactly the same.
Yeah, also, I'd advise you guys to go on like TikTok and look up bubbles in space, because they allegedly train, right, in the ISS are underwater in an underwater pool. Basically, they have an ISS replica in a pool, and we've seen from the live feeds actual bubbles floating in space. So,
yeah,
big coincidence.
There's tons, and there was a show doing a documentary on showing how they have an ISS underwater, right? And they do all the same stuff that they do in ISS, but during the documentary, they were showing the control room where they're doing everything, and then you watch when the camera pans over here, right there's a green screen. Why do they have a green screen? And there was some video showing that there was actual green screens in the pool, on the walls of the pool. Like, why would they need that? Why would they need that? And again, it goes on and on. How much trick we could spend hours going over NASA fakery. Doesn't mean that everyone at NASA is in on it. I would say that most people aren't. We have all sorts of whistleblowers, all sorts of stuff. We know how they film these scenes. They have a giant hole in the ground where they fill it with water. It's painted with black paint, and they literally hang the spaceship and they swim around it. They do all sorts of stuff. Does this look very airtight to you? That's the door. Think about a submarine door, right? Why are all of the things on the outside that need to be fixed? On a submarine, nothing's on the outside. Everything's on the inside. Why would they have the outside? And the last thing is the ISS, the International Space Station, is probably the most intense construction project ever. They never filmed any of it. There's no film of the ISS being built. How did that happen? None.
We have another question here, Colin.
You look up at night. What shape do you think the moon is?
I think it's a sphere. What do you think?
I also think it's a sphere. So if the other thing in space is a sphere, why don't you think that the thing that we're on is a sphere?
Well, because the moon is a light in the sky, and the planets are lights in the sky, and we don't live on a light. We don't live in the sky. So but again, the shape of the lights in the ceiling in your room don't dictate the shape of the floor.
So basically, we're the center of creation, and we have illuminaries above us to tell time. They all rotate around Polaris east to west in perfect cyclical patterns.
Yeah, and if we actually look at the moon, like I think it's a sphere, but I don't know. Like what shape are these? Is this a sphere? Looks like a sphere, right? It's a half a sphere, so it would really be hard to tell. Is this one a sphere? What if I told you this one was flat? Would you believe me? That's flat. It's not a sphere. It's flat. What about this one? What if I told you this one was flat? Would you believe me? Well, it's not flat. It's a cup, right? Unless you can touch it and measure it, you do not know what it is. Absolutely at all. For example, check this out. How deep is this school hallway? Is this door farther than this thing on the wall? Is it? Is it? Is that farther than this? Anybody?
Yeah.
It looks like it, right? But you don't know what this is until you can touch it and see it, or pull back and you can see that it's a cone. This door that's farther away now looks closer. It's right here instead of down there, right? So you don't know what you're looking at when you look up at the sky. And then we don't have time, but when you look at the luminosity of the moon and everything else, the moon would have to be 60,000 times brighter than the sun for us to see it at the brightness that we see it from Earth, using the inverse square law of light, which you were never taught in math. Angel, add on?
The shape of the things in the sky don't dictate the floor. Like I could look up at the sky and say to you, well, galaxies are flat and the whole universe is flat, therefore the Earth is flat. But I can't scientifically verify that because the shape of galaxies are flat disks. That means the Earth is a flat disk. So
right.
But we're really looking for your Gleb evidences, like best evidences you have.
Let me let's see other questions here. Let me get Nick, and then we want to make sure everybody gets a chance to ask, and then we'll have repeats.
Yeah. So
Speaking of coming, I wanted to ask a question. Like, is there any way that the Earth from being flat could theoretically be round? Like, what if we like theoretically gave the Earth a BBL so that like it wouldn't be flat anymore? You guys know what I mean? Like,
What are you asking?
like, is there a way that like the Earth could like be round, or what always stay flat?
Yeah, it could be round like a pizza, a coin. They're round, but they're also flat.
Right. So anything that's spherical has curvature. So here we have a canal or a lake, right? 8 miles long. And when water is at rest, it lies flat. When it's cold, it freezes flat. So we got a guy on the ice, 6 inches above the ice with his P1000 camera. And he put these 4 lights out here, 8 miles, 7 miles, 6 miles, and 5 miles. And it doesn't sound like much, but the globe math says that this one, with a ridiculous amount of fake refraction, added it all in, right? Because the globers say, oh, you can't see it. Well, you can see it, refraction, right? It's 30 feet, 22 feet, 15 feet, and 9 feet below the curve, right? When I say below the curve, you can't see my mouth because it's below the curve, right? But we can see it, and they all line up at the same level. Now you have 2 choices. One, the camera is just looking across the flat lake and it sees the lights across flat lake. Or 2, the horizon is less than a mile away, which it's required to be if the Earth is a globe. And this one's refracting up that much. This one's refracting up more, and more. Now, none of them refract up less or higher. They all magically refract up to stop tangent of this line. They're refracting perfectly to look like they're in a line, or maybe they just are in a line.
Let me do, Hendrix, you have a question?
In that picture you're showing, the Earth's circumference would only be like 100 miles.
This is not to scale. I'm showing you I showed you the actual real world numbers, giving the globe every benefit of the doubt. If I did it to scale, you wouldn't even be able to see it.
So I don't think 8 miles would be enough distance to like.
So how much curvature is there at 8 miles?
Not much.
How much do you think is at 3 miles? Do you know how much curvature there is at 10 miles?
A lot less than the picture shows.
66 feet. Well, we're not to scale here. This is just showing you an example, right? This is
I know, that's why I don't think that's like the
okay. Here, I'll show you something else. This is better, right? This is in Alusia, France. We're looking out here, and Mount Canigou is 175 miles away. Now, using the globe math, this is a video. Using the globe math, the top of Mount Canigou from this viewing spot should be over a half a mile below the curve. So we should never be able to see it. And you can't see it except for 2 times a year. The sun is migrating in between the 2 tropics like this, and twice a year it's in line with this view of Mount Canigou. And as it goes beyond Mount Canigou, it lights it up, it backlights it, and all of a sudden you can see it. You can't see the light that's bouncing off of Mount Canigou because it's not strong enough to push through the soup of the atmosphere. But the sun is brighter and it can push through. And the top of the mountain right here should be over half a mile below, right? So the glober explanation for this is, the mountain is below the curve. The sun is already set, but the sun is refracting up and the mountain that has no light is refracting up and blocking the refracted sun. Or we just see it because it's there.
You have to believe that mountain is actually below the curve and it's refracting around, like the light from the mountain's bending around the curve, so you see it.
No,
I don't know about you guys, but
there's no light on the mountain. So the non-lit mountain is refracting up to block the refracted light of the mountain. It's insane. It's absolutely insane to believe that.
When you guys duck behind a hill, we don't see you. But you have to believe that on certain weather conditions, that if you duck behind a hill, you're going to be seen above the hill. That's what they're claiming. Suez
Canal was built over a datum line where it did not account for any curvature over 100 miles. There should be over 6,600 feet of curvature. From Miami to the top of Florida, there should be over 20 miles of curvature. 20 miles of curvature, according to the globe math. Let me show you how high 20 miles is. Do you know how high 20 miles is? 20 miles is... This is 20 miles. There should be a hump that goes up. Where is it? This high. This is 20 miles. All right. There should be a hump this high in the sky where this balloon is in Florida. Right. But there's not because the earth is flat. Water tells us the earth is flat. Air, we're breathing air, means it's contained. But it's amazing. People will defend it, will defend the globe, and they don't know anything about the globe. For example, the guy that was just saying, it's out of scale. What's the radius of the earth at the equator? Do you know? What's the radius of the earth anywhere? The radius. Do you know the circumference at the equator? Do you know how fast it's orbiting the sun? I told you earlier. Right? You don't know any of these things. So you look for something to preserve your paradigm. Right? The thing is, we're looking for the truth. We say, don't believe anything we say. You need to go verify everything. So there you go. Next question.
Okay. Yeah, you got a couple questions here. I'll get Harry, and then we'll start back here. So Harry.
What do you think it would take for there to be an informational mission, maybe manned by a representative of the flat Earth community to Antarctica to prove the ice wall theory?
Well, what do you mean prove the ice wall theory? The ice wall there's a million pictures and videos of
it. Go beyond that.
Well, yeah. So we going there are several tests that we could do that would prove it. It haven't been done yet. There's the Antarctic Treaty. They won't allow anything. Now people have gone there and said, "Oh, there's a 24-hour sun in the sky." The lights in the sky don't prove the shape of the Earth. Angel?
Yeah, I mean, even on the globe paradigm, the Antarctic, basically outer edge of it is an ice wall. It's elevated by about 250 feet, admittedly on the globe. So you just make that into an ice ring, and now it's containing the water.
Yeah, this is the shoreline of Antarctica right here.
All right. So other questions here. I just move along here because I know it's an answer. Jackson, will start working this way.
Why do you think NASA and the government tries so hard to make us think that the Earth is a globe, and when they invest like billions of dollars annually into NASA?
Well, I think I don't actually think they invest that much money into NASA. It's all just a stage show, but they do steal that amount of money from us via taxes. So. What difference does it make? I still have to go to school on Monday, is what people would say, your age, or I still have to go to work on Monday. The truth is, they're hiding your ability to see the world for what it is. They're hiding your true divinity. They're hiding free energy. They're hiding the fact that we are at the center of creation. They're hiding more land, more resources. And they're hiding your ability to thrive to your fullest, right? You want to upset a baby, take his ball away, right? You want to upset a grown person, right? Take their ball away, right? Because our entire world is built around this ball belief, right? We are these incredible, powerful spiritual beings. Our minds create our own reality, and things that manifest in our lives. Everything in your life will end up being your fault by the way that you think. And the sooner you figure that out, the better. But what do they do to cap that? They literally put the globe over it, and they make you unable to think. The globe is a place of fear, false evidence appearing real. FEAR, right? They make it so you think that we're overpopulated, global warming, we're running out of oil. What do they call dinosaur? I call it dinosaur juice. We're running out of, you spend your whole life working to pay for gas and electricity, and rent, right? So you're going to live in a corporate slave system, and that's where they want us. This is more than just a war for control. It's a war of controlling all of our energy. Angel?
No, yeah, it's basically, in my opinion, it's all speculation. We're not the ones lying, but it's to hide the creator, right? Because if we're in a giant terrarium, something outside the terrarium would have had to make that, right? Because we're living in it, right? And it appears like even the heliocentric paradigm that you guys believe in, it admits that it looks like we're the center of creation, but it's an illusion. Whereas we are the center of creation, we're not moving. Everything revolves around us. So yeah, if you guys have any of your best globe evidences, let's hear it.
And you'll find it interesting that none of you have any globe evidences. And that's not no offense against you. There are none. But if there were some, you guys should be able to come up with at least one. It's worth 3 Bitcoins.
All right, Grant, you had a question.
How is it daytime here but nighttime in other parts of the world if the Earth is flat?
Good.
Yeah, so basically, the sun is much more smaller and local, and it illuminates a portion of the Earth as it moves over top of the Earth, east to west in a circle. So basically, there's light attenuation, which means the sunlight doesn't travel forever because we have air that we're breathing. So as the sun sets, it moves away from you in a circle, and it will attenuate until the light becomes nighttime, right? So wherever the sun is would be right above your head. Zenith would be 12 p.m. And then opposite to that would be 12 midnight. So as it traverses the Earth, it takes 24 hours to do so. When it's in the Tropic of Cancer in the middle, it's going slower and doing a smaller circle. And then it moves to Capricorn, it speeds up and does a bigger circle. And that shows itself in the analemma.
This is the Tropic of Capricorn out here. So the sun is actually migrating outwards now for 6 months. In December, it'll be Angel's summer, but we'll be freezing our butts off up here because the sun will be far away from us. It'll be all the way over here. In June, the sun is here closer to us, so it appears higher in the sky, and it's warmer because it's closer, right? And when he's talking about light attenuation, oops, that's not what I wanted to go. 1 second. Here it is. We talk about light attenuation. Where did it go? Unfade out. There it is. Hold on 1 second. So the light, when it says light attenuation, light doesn't travel forever. So here's the sun just fading out. I'll play it again. So here's the sun. It was going down, 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 and then it stopped and it just hung here. Now my friends are at the beach over here and they saw the sun set from the bottom up 10 minutes ago, but I'm on my drone. It's cold out and I'm watching this super clear day and the sun just sat there. And as it's going farther away, its powerful light can't push through the atmosphere and it just goes away and takes its light with it. It's nighttime here. I can still see the sun. It's getting darker and the sun just goes away. It does its loop and comes back in the morning, rises in the east, sets in the west and makes its circle. We have longer days in the summer because the sun is closer. Therefore, it's higher in the sky, appears higher, and we have longer days because it rises earlier and sets later.
Yeah, just so you guys, it's easier to see the light attenuation with the moon. So they tell you the moon is all the way in space, right? But you're going to see this yourself with your own eyes. You'll see that the moon will be close to the clouds, and there's going to be like a localized halo around the clouds, on the clouds from the moon's light, which proves it's a local light source. You can only get that effect with a localized light.
Right. And then a lot of people will say, well, the sun on the flat earth, it should get smaller and smaller. Sometimes it does. It depends on the atmosphere because the more atmosphere you look through with moisture in it, the more it magnifies it. But this was shot in Afghanistan. And it's a super dry, desert there. And the sun is just going away. It's not going down. It's just going away, taking its light with it, getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And, as Paul McCartney says, the fool on the hill sees the sun spinning around, but the world wait, what are the words? Nobody wants to know him. They can see that he's just a fool. The fool on the hill sees the sun going down, but the eyes in his head see the world spinning around. That's it. I had a little brain fart there. So again, we can see these things, and there's all different types of sunsets that you can see that work perfectly on a flat earth. Now, is this photographer falling over backwards on a ball faster than the speed of sound, or is this sun, whatever it is, just going away into the distance, getting lower due to perspective, and just going to take its light and fade away? You have to ask yourself, which one is it? You've been indoctrinated to believe that they're falling over backwards faster than the speed of sound.
Have you got the Hawaii overlay with that, Dave?
Oh, yeah.
It's a really good way to show them.
Yeah. So perspective, there we go. Second. So Here we have, now if we're on a ball, you're always on the top of the ball from your point of view, and everything should be going down and away. But on this flat hallway, you can see the boat here and the boat out here. Both, this one's higher than the other one, just like the hallway. It's just like the hallway. So this hallway is flat. So is the water flat also, or is it curving down and away? Right? Is it curving down and away? Here, check this out. So as I say, curving down and away, the farther away things get, they should just be going down and away, down and away. So that farther boat should be lower than the closer boat. Again, not to scale, right? So we got flat water. It should be going down and away. Got this boat here. The farther boat should be lower. The surface of the water should be lower than here, but it's not. We compare that to the hallway. It's the same. Just gonna jump forward here a second. So it's the same. Now, what happens when I overlay a sunset on this? The sun is in the sky, and it's just going to follow this same line. It's just going away, and this area here, the atmosphere becomes opaque and just takes its light with it. Right, here's another sunset. It just follows the same line. Is that weird? Right? The sun goes up on a ramp, straight line, to a point, the highest point of the day, and then down on a straight line. It doesn't curve over you. It does a straight line if you time lapse it. And that's just due to perspective. If you're on a long street of streetlights, you're under a streetlight, the one above you is your noon sun, and all the other ones are the different times, and they all look like they're getting lower, but you know they're all the same height. Go ahead.
Sorry about that. Just got a few minutes left here. Maya, you have a question?
If the sun is revolving,
Speak up.
if the sun is revolving around the edge of the Earth, then why is Antarctica the coldest and iciest place?
Well, the sun, whatever it is circling around. It only goes out here. It doesn't get far out. It's warm in Antarctica in December, but the farther out you go, the colder it gets. The sun, it gives thermal radiation in the tropics because it's always near there. So as it goes away, but it's never that far away from the north. It gets cold in the north, but then it comes back in, right? But Antarctica is colder than the north. It should be the same. It should be the same. June should be the same as January. Angel?
Yeah, basically, the sun doesn't spend a lot of time in the south, and the distance of Antarctica, I guess, the heat doesn't travel there enough for it to be hot.
It makes perfect sense if you understand how the sun migrates. On my app, which I give you guys for free, just give your teacher your email address and the type of phone you have. There's a section called "Where Does the Sun Go?" You'll like that. And what about seasons? Right here. Seasons. It'll teach you how seasons work perfectly well.
All right. Other questions here? Izzy?
NASA should be using our money, tax dollar money, to push forward their agenda of the globe. Then what's the difference with buying your app to understand the flat Earth?
I'm giving it to you for free. It's $3, and it's a voluntary thing if you want to educate yourself. I mean, you can go and buy a book. You can go buy a book if you want to learn something, or you can choose to be ignorant. It's up to you, right? NASA is taking your money whether you want it or not.
So you're saying NASA is we're compelled to pay taxes to fund NASA, whereas to get your app, it's a voluntary contribution.
And I'm offering it to you guys for free, just so you can be educated.
Well, it's saying it's a $3 value it's giving you for free.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So also, have you noticed nobody has offered a globe proof yet? They're just asking questions. Questions are good, but why doesn't somebody bring a globe proof?
We got just 2 minutes left here. Hendricks and then Colin.
The bottom of the flat Earth has gravity.
I didn't hear that.
What is beneath the flat Earth, and does the bottom of the flat Earth have gravity?
So didn't we talk about gravity on this yet?
No, I don't think so, not yet. But basically, the deepest hole ever dug on Earth is 8 miles. and they reached an impenetrable barrier that we don't know what's beyond it, right? So we don't know what's below the Earth. No one knows what's below the Earth because the deepest hole ever dug is literally the size of that skin on that apple.
Right. Well, it's not. It's a fraction of the skin. And when they were digging it, they were guessing, using radar to guess what they're going to hit next. They were wrong every step of the way. So they went halfway or quarter way through the skin. They were wrong, but somehow they know what's in the core. This was taught to you as science, but this is pseudoscience. Nobody knows what's in the center of the Earth, or no one knows what's below 8 miles. So that's a belief system that you have.
And to answer your question about gravity, well, gravity has never been proven yet. It hasn't been isolated, manipulated, or verified in an experiment. So basically, you're asking me, why don't I believe in unicorns, right? People would have to prove unicorns exist before I can believe in them. Well, gravity has no evidence.
Well, we are getting near the end here, so we'll wrap it up.
The final thing is, if you Google or go to ChatGPT, which is not your friend, you're not going to get any real information unless you're very, very careful on how you search. But if you go to my website, flatearthdave.com, in the middle of the website, there's a big banner that says Crash Course. It's a whole list of videos that Google is hiding from you. If you watch the first 3 or 5 of those videos, you will be a flat earther. So don't do it unless you're ready to have your paradigm changed. But if you are, turn off Netflix, watch those videos. They're awesome. They're really well made. And then you'll see. But it's up to you which path your life takes.
Yeah, and if you want to go check me out on TikTok, Angels of Light, just search me on there. And I have a debates playlist. You can have fun binging on that, where I just destroy the pilots. And
we want to thank both of you for presenting to us.
Thank you.
Hey. All right. Last one. Last class. No, it's gone well. I think I know the kids are doing a lot of talking and thinking, so this is good.
We've seen it all before. That's the same question. It's the same, that picture scale. Or the Earth is a globe.
Right. Yeah. Let me put student as a quick question before he has to leave.
If you were to fly a plane in one direction and not change its course, what would happen to the plane?
What direction would
you
that
would
be?
You would end up south.
Yeah. Every direction. Here's north right here, right? So west is a circle in this direction because you want your compass always pointed to the center. East is a circle in this direction, but south is every direction away. So if I started going west and I didn't correct, I'm now heading south, and you'd end up in Antarctica. South. So billions of people have circumnavigated east and west. 0 have done it south. You should be able to go from Santiago to Australia, no problem, but nobody's ever done it.
I did. I took a plane.
No, you didn't go over Antarctica. You went all the way this way. You went the long way.
Thank you.
All right. Last class coming up here. So yeah, it's very interesting. Here's my observation so far is that the students are they're asking questions, they're probing your positions, but they it's curious. They haven't offered like a definitive defense of the round Earth.
Can I suggest something? Maybe after this next class, maybe you give us some proofs, something that you can think of, and we'll just debunk everything.
I think he's been doing this too long. He knows there aren't any, but he can't admit it.
Yeah. So yeah, but it's been fascinating with the students there, because now part of that, I think they are exercising some critical thinking because they're trying to investigate and say, okay, well, is this a valid position? But yeah, it's to say, I wonder to what degree it's okay. It's just assumed, so we've never had to really think about defending it. So I don't know. It's just been very interesting. So it's so funny though. There are students outside the door. They're talking away. They're explaining. They're like, talking about all the proofs you offered and everything. It's so funny. Come on in. Come join us. So, yeah, it's so funny. They're just talking away out there. So, lots of discussion that's occurring. So I'm just referring to you as angels of light. I don't know if I should refer you any other way, but I do appreciate you staying up very late in Australia to talk to my students. So thank you for doing that.
Well, if it wasn't you, it'd be some sort of people on my TikTok debating. So
Yeah, he goes all night practically. Yeah, he goes for another hour or two, easy. Every
Okay. So you're a little more nocturnal, so I appreciate that. Well, I thank you for hanging in there for 4 periods there. Yeah, we usually do 3, but there's just such demand for the class that they had to add an extra class. So otherwise we would have kind of scheduled in such a way so that we could have maybe 2 classes meeting at one time. But anyway, so thanks for hanging in there for 4 classes. So I'm going to go ahead and take attendance, and then we'll go get started.
Hey everyone, if you enjoyed this interview, please help support my work and help wake up others by referring or gifting the app to at least one person today. By doing that, you're going to help wake people up and help me to continue doing other interviews like this. With the censorship out there that's going on, it's very difficult to find relevant information. And the app, as you know, brings people to the truthful information of our world. So help support my work, help support your efforts in waking up friends, family, and strangers. Gift them the app or just recommend the app. And let's make 2025 the year Flat Earth breaks free. Check the links below for information on how to gift the app or just refer the app to others and use your referral code to earn Dome cryptocurrency and a free subscription. Thanks.